Hey guys, I wanted to answer some people's requests and let them know what I think makes a good Street Fighter game. And maybe it's not just what I think; it's what I think that the direction Capcom should take with in regards to Street Fighter. I'll try to make this short because I don't think too many people care. And secondly, I don't think Capcom again cares what I think or will do anything with any person ever again because of their flop with HD Remix and Anniversary Edition. Probably soured that company beyond repair because I think those two games were a total waste of time. Added nothing new to the whole thing and were just minor redesigns that wasn't worth their time and effort. I think they need to come out with something totally, evolving, right, for the Street Fighter brand, and I don't think those two games did it. Just my opinion. So anyway, I'll go through it really quickly. Super meter rules. You should have 3 levels on the super. You should not allow anything that doesn't cause the other player to block, charge the super meter. You should not allow people to whiff moves and charge the meter. You should not allow people to jump back like Ryu, do 3 spin kicks, do an uppercut, and have, level 1 super. There should be a proximity for different characters. Should be different ranges, and special moves within that range are allowed to charge the super meter. You can't just take Ryu, go back to the corner, jump up and down, spin kick, spin kick, spin kick, because if you're out of that proximity, then you can't charge the meter whatsoever. So that's my first idea. Second one is that level 1 super is done by pushing jab, level 2 is done by pushing strong, level 3 is done by pushing fierce. Super should have a high priority on a scale of 1 to 10. They should be a 9 or a 10, with Ryu's uppercut being an 8. A super should beat almost every normal move in the game, have higher priority. Also, I think that level 1 super should only do damage the equivalent to a fierce hit. I think a level 2 super should do the damage equivalent to a fierce and a strong, and I think a level 3 ultra should only do damage equivalent to a fierce and a fierce, because I don't want these moves to be used as a crutch. I don't want a super move to be used to make up for your weak gameplay or your weak strategy. I want these supers to be part of your strategy, be part of your skill. So that's where the priority comes in. If they're doing low damage like that, like 1 fierce, whatever, you're gonna have to use skill to win. You can't rely on it because it doesn't do enough damage to rely on. That's the main thing. You got Marvel vs. Capcom, then you got Street Fighter, regular Street Fighter. Over time, since Super Turbo, Marvel vs. Capcom and Street Fighter have kind of gotten closer together. Notice how you can string all the buttons together. You can juggle people in the air multiple times. You can string the buttons together, juggle them, then super them. I mean, it's like Marvel vs. Capcom. That's not Street Fighter, real Street Fighter. So you need to go in 2 different ways. With regular Street Fighter, you can't have stringing together of buttons with no skill. There should be timing required, like say Bison's low forward, standing short double kick, or Guile's meaty low forward, low strong blade kick, or moves that require timing, which requires skill, which separate good players from great players. Consistency of doing things that are hard to do. All these new games, just jab, strong, fierce, special move, super. Like, it's so easy. Doesn't take that much skill. It takes away from the pureness of the strategy of the game. And also the supers doing so much damage like they do. People use them as a crutch. Gotta remove that. I like alpha counters from Alpha 2 in that way, except I think they should do way less damage. So an alpha counter will only do the damage equivalent to your strong punch with that character. And everyone's strong punch does different damage. Zangief's obviously does a lot more than someone else. And everyone should have 2 alpha counters, a punch and a kick. And everyone should have 2 supers, a punch and a kick. Now, I think there should be dashing in the game because I think that's an acceptable medium. It makes the game exciting and makes people be able to put pressure on people, and I think that's great. But dashing forward or backward will use 1/4 of 1 level of your super meter, so there is a penalty for dashing. You can't just dash all over the place with no penalty. You have to pay a penalty to dash because otherwise the game just gets a little bit too ridiculous. So gameplay rules, there'll be no blocking in the air whatsoever, none. No blocking in the air, nothing. No step to the side moves, like Dalsum steps to the side in Street Fighter 4 to avoid fireballs, none of that. If someone throws a projectile and you don't jump straight up over it, or jump forward, or jump to avoid it, or do a special move to avoid it, you're going to take the block damage. Street Fighter should always be like that. Marvel vs. Capcom, you can go, go all crazy, but Street Fighter, no way. You cannot tech throw. Tech throws are automatically removed from my Street Fighter, okay? If you are next to somebody and if they think you're going to throw them, and then you go with the, low forward into a spin kick, into an uppercut, into a super, right? All that's like big damage, right? But they should also take a good amount of damage if they choose to just block, right? Otherwise, why would the player not just block every time and just tech to throw every time? Like, doesn't make sense. Takes away from the risk, right? So have the throw do equivalent to at least a fierce punch of damage, okay? And since we're going to lower the damage of supers, we're going to put the throw more in line with the combo if you eat the combo, right? We're going to limit the juggles in the game. After the launch hit, say the roundhouse spin kick or the low roundhouse, we're going to limit it to you can only be hit 3 times after that. So you can't just juggle somebody with a, spin kick, uppercut, and then dash, and then, hit them with an ultra. Like, that's not going to do full damage anymore. We don't want to give people crutches like that. So we're going to limit the launch damage to 4 hits total, which is perfectly acceptable. It's going to add more strategy to the game. Now, okay, no tech throws, no rolling out of throws. If you get thrown, you're going down, you're getting up in the same spot. Also, when you get up, you can't be thrown instantly anymore. Like in Alpha 2 with Akuma, you could, do your flying, and then you could head grab them and throw them in the corner. With El Fuerte in Street Fighter 4, you could do the, a similar thing. And it's kind of a 50-50 game at that point. But we're going to give, players a little bit more time to get up, since you have the penalty of, you can't roll or tech, to add a little bit more strategy to the game. So I think that's good. You can no longer string the buttons together. That's going to take skill now and timing. Once again, keep Marvel vs. Capcom separate from Street Fighter. There's no longer a block meter in the game. Okay, that is totally stupid. What we're going to have is we're going to call it a morale booster bar. And what that's going to do is that when you make an opponent block a certain amount of hits, you're going to get 1 level of super added to your super meter. Okay? So if you have half of level 1 super, and then you've maxed your bar, now you're going to have 1.5 meter, or if you have 1 level super, now you're going to have 2. And that's not doing any damage to the opponent, because I don't think blocking is bad. It's an acceptable strategy. If you get a big lead and you just want to block, that's part of the game. That's an acceptable strategy. Certain characters do better turtling than others. Turtling is an acceptable strategy. We don't want to take away from that. That's fine. However, we want to benefit someone from attacking more. So what we'll do is we'll give them more super meters, which will result in using more strategy. Not just, comboing them when they're stunned, which is totally stupid. So, game speed. The game speed will be set to where characters like Dalsum and Guile that are poking characters, any poking character, if the low forward comes out and Ryu can't trip it, or another character can't hit that low forward with another hit and see it come out on reaction, if a pro player can't hit that move at least 75% of the time, then the game speed will be adjusted until the pro player can hit that at least 75% of the time. And then good players, they wouldn't even be able to hit it half the time, right? Which is great, because there's got to be a penalty for poking a kick out. And the penalty is not, I trip you and then I hit you with ultra. That's too much. That's ridiculous. We're going to have a little penalty in that you can get hit by a counter hit, right? And that is good. Anything we can do to add to a more skilled player, making him different than a good player, is a good thing. So that's very important. Now, we're only going to have 1 game speed. Each character in the game is going to have 2 supers. I talked about that.